Schoolie Scouts. The footage you're going to see today was shot a long time ago, like over a year ago. Why is it taking me so long to show it to you? Because I was embarrassed. Embarrassment number 1, stenciling wrong. Embarrassment number 2, I just didn't think it looked good. And then, of course, embarrassment number 3, there's the racism.
Maximalist minibus with Mary and Captain and you. Get on the bus!
A lot of you have asked me about the stenciling on the outside of the bus. I get a ton of comments, all positive, about it. I don't think I've ever gotten a negative comment about it. But I've never actually talked about it in a video. I've never shown what I did, and I don't even think I've ever even shot a close-up of it. For a long time, I tried hard to avoid even showing the outside of the bus. I was embarrassed by the whole thing, for a few reasons.
Hey there, Schoolie Scout.
You might recognize from the flies where I am. I painted it while we were at Assateague Island National Seashore. Nancy, what's on the table? We being me, Captain, and Nancy, along with someone else who was with us briefly until I pissed her off and she left. I had planned to do a bunch of different projects while I was there, but in my usual fashion, I didn't really get it together. I forgot about a bunch of things. I forgot to get stencil adhesive, for example, and there's not a Michaels or a Joanne fabric at the National Seashore. Surprise, surprise.
I'm attaching the actual stencil to the bus using magnets, and we'll see how well that works. Maybe it won't work at all and we'll have to start over. I don't know, but we're going to try it.
I also couldn't find the brushes I would usually use for this kind of thing. How do you lose something in 75 square feet of living space? I don't know, but stick around. You're going to see it time after time with me. Okay, I'm scattered, but I don't let that stop me. That's partially because I'm super stubborn and super impatient, and when I decide that I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. Even if I don't have the right supplies, I'm still going to do it. Sometimes that's a great thing. Sometimes it is not a good thing at all.
So I've got these crappy little chip brushes, but it's actually okay because I'm ultimately going for kind of a distressed look. If I like it, I'll do the other side. If I don't like it, I'll scratch the whole damn thing out. It's my bus. I can do what I want, right?
So I stuck the magnets on my stencil, and I stuck my crappy paintbrush in the paint, and I went for it. Nancy did some of it too, and the result was really underwhelming. There's tons of places where the paint didn't stay within the lines of the stencil, so it's blotchy, and then there's other places where I didn't put enough paint, so those look kind of bare. If you get up close, it's a mess, and I kind of felt like from a distance it made the bus look like a bus for a daycare center, one where maybe they let the kids paint the bus. So let's recap. Embarrassment number 1, I felt like I was setting a bad example by stenciling wrong. Embarrassment number 2, I just didn't think it looked good. That's a basic. And then, of course, embarrassment number 3, there's the racism.
And the secret garden typically has trees, pagodas, and some weird-looking wizardy kind of guys. And that's what I'm putting on my bus.
I'm just going to put it out there. I love chinoiserie. My table and chair have chinoiserie patterns on them. My lamp is a replica tea tin. I really enjoy chinoiserie. And if you don't know what chinoiserie is, it's basically a fanciful vision of Asia seen through the eyes of Europeans. It started because the decorative arts, the ceramics and porcelain and other goods being produced in Asia were highly coveted, they were difficult to get, they were crazy expensive. So European potteries and other manufacturers started doing their own versions. Chinoiserie is a French word that means kind of something like Chinese-ish. Yeah, it's like saying kind of Chinese. They didn't know what Asia really looked like. All they had to go on was what they saw on the decorative arts that China was exporting, and then that just got kind of mixed in with their own culture, and it became a thing all its own. It's one of those styles that has endured. Probably because it's beautiful, but it's also fanciful and colorful and over the top, and there's a lot of different ways to use it. After I decided to paint this pattern on my bus, it's a riff on a common theme in chinoiserie called Secret Garden. After I had painted Secret Garden on my bus, I came across a few articles where people were saying we need to stop using chinoiserie. Up to then, I hadn't really thought about it because this stuff is ubiquitous in the design world. You know, it's everywhere. In the most mainstream places you can think of, in the most unmainstream places you can think of. But some people are calling for a moratorium on its use because it's racist and it's cultural appropriation. I can see where that would come from. But we're not talking here about like kitschy Asian figurines from the 50s. I mean, those exist, but I wouldn't put them in the category of chinoiserie. I actually think cultural appropriation is not only inevitable, but is the source of some of the greatest achievements in world history. I'm not afraid of a hard conversation, but if I can avoid hurting someone, I like to do that. And I felt bad that someone might feel bad at what I've got on the side of my bus. I planned to paint over it as soon as I got a chance, but I never got a chance. And so many people seem to like it. It just kind of grew on me, and I don't really want to paint over it at this point. Here's my pro-chinoiserie argument. It's like sampling in music, right? Is the person doing the sampling creating an homage to the original song? Are they doing a cover? No, not really. They're using it. They're riffing on it. They're exploring what that song brings out in their creativity. They're not mocking it in any way. There's an otherness to it that doesn't fit either the European world or the Asian world. It's other. I don't know how else to describe it. I think I'm going to leave this on the bus, at least for a little while, but I'd love to hear what you think about it. Do I need to paint it over? Does it look like a daycare center? Let me know. Oh, by the way, you can see that things are kind of shaping up here inside the bus in the rebuild, but I'm not really ready to give you a tour, but I will. I'm not going to do a big reveal, but I will do a tour since you've seen most of it in bits and pieces already anyway. And if you want to see the video that all this happened in, here's the one. I was actually painting this while this whole mishigas was going on. Okay. Catch you later.